Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Discipline Therapy Podcast. I'm your host, Theo Discipline. Alongside me is your other host, Sue Sotomayor. Jumping right into it, let's rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, you know y'all are fiends and y'all know what that means. That means we're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy, where not everything is completely free. As we're on Patreon for a plethora of exclusive content for you to see, but what is free is judgment free, sucker free, censorship free, and plenty of liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, or my favorite, roll a blunt. Um, but make sure the children are in bed. Why? Because we have that soul food, and sometimes vulgar conversation prepare your mind to be fed. Light one up, inhale life, and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you were tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
We're
We're here.
here. All right. We have links in the description on how to become part of our Patreon family for exclusive contents, behind the scenes, Mr. Discipline's solo lecture on discipline therapy talk, his BDSM content, erotica post and writing by Mr. Discipline. We also have his masterclass and full workshop videos on there. Um, some collaboration shows pertaining to more sensitive topics such as sexual abuse, rape, domestic violence, so on and so forth, with both myself and Mr. Discipline. Once again, on how to become part of that Patreon family, go to patreon.com/, the Discipline Therapy Podcast. Mr. Discipline also has books for sale. You could Google them and his whole list of works come up. They're available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNobles.com, also for electronic versions like Kindle and Nook. Um, and once again, all the links are in the description below the video. We also have our online store for merch at disciplinetherapy.launchcard.store/shop. You want to go check that out. And last but not least, we are on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Deezer, Castbox, Podtail, Podcaster, Pocket Cast, and many, many more if you can't find us on our YouTube channel. All right. So today's topic, episode
Well,
218.
first of all, how do you feel?
I feel good. I've
It's,
been
was it
taking.
warm?
No, I'm never. Well, I started wearing my
Well, it's
Under
warm. It's
Armour.
warm in here. I turned the heat up.
Yes, it's warm in here, so I'm comfortable here. But I started wearing my Under Armour when I go to work because it is cold coming out at 6:30 in the morning. So with that, I'm good. I keep warm. I also feel more energized. I've been taking these gummies that have like mushrooms in it, like lion's mane and all
Mm.
that stuff, for memory, and another one that gives you energy throughout the day. Um, and I think it's working. I've been using it about 3 weeks now, so I think it's kicking in. I feel good.
I get energy when I'm exercising.
That too.
So I feel like when I'm not exercising for whatever, like my body, my mind and my body are in sync. So when I'm not doing it, like it's almost like my body's going through withdrawal, and the withdrawal it goes through it my body aches,
Mm,
like
yeah.
it's pain. And I noticed because I pay attention to things. I'm very attention to details. So I always like when there's a problem, I figure out what led up to that and then
Mm-hmm.
find a solution. And then once the solution, is found and there's an action plan that I implement, then I'm like, that was the counter for that problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I pay attention to those things. So like for example, like if I wake up 2 days straight and my back hurts, my body hurts, my shoulders hurt, I don't feel as energized, as motivated, and I'm thinking, you know what? I haven't been to the gym all week. And then I go to the gym and then I
Mm,
feel good. It's
yeah.
like a boost of energy.
Mm-hmm.
My testosterone level is high. You know, Goku, 10,000. You know what I'm saying? Super Saiyan, God mode, Dragon Ball Z.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I get to that depending on the problem or whatever. But we digress. We're getting off of that. But yeah, just a couple of episodes left. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get into it.
All right. So today's episode 218. Why is it that in today's era, standards, boundaries, and preferences of men are deemed controlling and toxic, but for women, it's deemed self love, empowering, and healthy? Hmm. That is definitely a big old double standard, I think. I feel like females, when they see a man that has standards and yeah, I said females. So females, especially if they're insecure, when they come up with, when they meet a man that has standards and boundaries and preferences, I feel like those females are like, how dare you? Like, you should just be happy with whatever it is that you get. Because I feel like they think that they're the prize, and the man shouldn't have
Mm.
standards and boundaries and preferences, which is, ridiculous, because obviously, just like a woman, men have preferences to what kind of woman he wants. It's true that a lot of people don't have boundaries. So I think when a woman sees a man, or meets a man that has boundaries, that's almost like a whoa, because I feel like so many people don't know about boundaries. They don't know how to put boundaries. They don't understand it. You know what I mean? Um, and for women is deemed self love. I think it for the same reason. I think a lot of females are they're hurt. They have a lot of trauma, and I think, which is not bad to use those words for women, but it should also be used for the men. It shouldn't be, oh well, for a woman it's self love and empowering. Why can't that be for a man? You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. I think a lot of feminists will make that distinction like that.
So I think this is a societal standard. I think it's a societal ideology. So we don't we don't know who created this.
Mm.
You know, we could say feminists did. We could say the males implemented the feminism, came from two white guys, then it went to white women implementing these things, which is true. People could look that up. Um, but where it's gone now, right? It could be a situation where um, certain groups of people come together to create this ideology, and people are now parroting monkey see, monkey do.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I agree with what you were saying, and it's like, just to expound, it's not common. So if I fear something, I don't understand it,
Mm-hmm.
and if I don't understand it, I have to understand it so I don't go insane. So if it's not normal, it's demonic. If it's not normal, then it's wrong. If it's
Mm-hmm.
not normal, then it's toxic. So no, it's not normal. I'm just expounding on what you were saying. It's not normal for men to come in and be standards. Like you're saying, I'm the prize. Like, women do this. We you chase us, so we are the prize. You do whatever we want. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do this. Valentine's Day, you don't get some. You're in the doghouse. I don't gotta get you shit.
Mm.
This, that. Like, this is how it is. It's a woman's world. Pussy power. Pussy runs the world, right? This is the mentality that is indoctrinated with females and males.
Mm.
And males, I don't leave them out of it because there's male feminists.
Yep.
I don't
Yes.
leave them out of it. So even males will shame this. Let's really get into it. Not just females. A male will come in and be like, "Bro, what are you doing? Like, you kind of crazy talking to women like that. What's wrong with you? Like, you." Meanwhile, the guy's not calling them bitches. The guy's not cursing at them or whatever. He's just putting standards. But they don't hear that. They hear aggression. They hear toxic, because it's not normal, bro. Like, we're supposed to do this for women. We're supposed to make them happy. Don't you get happy wife, happy life?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't never gonna keep it. You know what I'm saying? Keep women if you acting like that. Male feminists, females. How dare he? Like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So it's something that is like, when you come in and it's not normal. You know, you fear it, but you gotta make some understanding to it. and you just create it like the telephone game we used to play in middle school and
Mm-hmm.
kindergarten. 10 people say something at the top. Let's see if the same thing gets said at the end. It doesn't. It
No.
gets changed because everybody's listening to it differently. So it's same thing like a rumor.
Mm-hmm.
This is a rumor because the thing is, we don't have the answer, so we got to make shit up. See? So that's one thing I think. The second thing I think is like people, men have always had power. That's the truth. Women has not. So they're kind of looking at it like, yo, y'all had your time. It's our time now. Oftentimes when women are praised in self-love and empowerment, it's because a lot of women know, not a lot of men, but a lot of women know because they could relate to the other women,
Mm-hmm.
and even if I don't like you because you're a woman, I could relate to that. So I have some sympathy. I know that you and I probably did the same thing in our past relationships. We gave our all. We built our identity. We gave more than a man. So now, girl, for you to actually be happy, you gotta take your power back. You gotta not give. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. So you gotta now have standards because we didn't. We was willing to do dumb shit because we loved the man. He
Mm.
told us to rob a bank with him. We didn't give a fuck what the consequences were gonna be. We rode. We didn't say where are we going. He said, "Yo, come ride or die with me." Where are we riding to? We didn't question. We just did it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of shit was fucked up because we picked the wrong guys. We
Mm-hmm.
picked the wrong guys to allow to entertain us, and we accepted the wrong ones. You know what I'm saying? But we just that's just in our nature to do that. But now, girl, we gotta be smart. We gotta take our power back. We gotta love ourselves. That's how they the translation of them loving themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Of doing that. But meanwhile, it's counterintuitive. It's making them get in their masculine when they're doing it, and they're repelling the men that they are biologically designed to be attracted to. They're
Mm.
repelling those guys, and they're getting the betas. You know what I'm saying? They're getting into relationships, obviously, but they're not getting the ones they want. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or they're in those relationships and they're still looking, they're still cheating, they're still doing shit online. So they're not really in real relationships and they're not really sufficient there.
Mm.
It's like you get a job and you're just like, well, I'm desperate for anything. But the reality is that's not a job that you used to doing. Like
Right.
imagine me going to work somewhere where I gotta start from the bottom.
Mm.
Not even a supervisor. Be like a cashier
Mm-hmm.
at Walmart. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And it's just like, well, I need a job right now. But now you're not happy there. You're not making the money, right? You got somebody telling you what to do and micromanaging you, and then now you're looking. It's the same thing. Like
Mm.
I could find it's just like that. I'm using that analogy. I could find any job, just like a woman. She gets approached all day, so she'll get into a relationship. Don't necessarily mean it's
It's
the
the
one she
one.
want.
Mm-hmm.
Don't necessarily mean he's her type. Don't necessarily mean he's her first choice.
I think that a lot of females are scared that they won't meet the standards of the man, and that's why they.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you know what? I was gonna get into that.
Oh, really?
I
See?
was gonna get into that. Um, because like I've said this in past episodes, and I'm glad we're on the same page. A lot of times the feminists will shame the submissive women because they really do know that those men like them. But now it's a jealousy thing. They're like, damn, I don't want to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with what I acquired. Ain't nobody telling me what to do. I don't got a curfew. I don't got a. So a lot of times they do because I did that already before, and that put me in a lot of vulnerable situations for me to get fucked up there,
Mm.
in layman's terms. But now, you know what I'm saying? Damn, I'm seeing that they like to pick me. They like to pick me, but I'm like, I don't want to be the pick me, but I want those type of guys. So they will shame that because they don't want to step up. So I like the way you said that. You're right. They will deem that because it's reverse psychology. It's
Mm-hmm.
manipulation. It's it's like girl, why would you want to do that lifestyle of BDSM? They just beat women. They don't love women. They just disrespect women. They don't provide it. They don't protect it. You're just a slave. Meanwhile, in her mind, she craving that every night.
Mm-hmm.
She craving that, but she don't want you to have what she don't have.
Because she can't get it.
Yeah, single women help single women stay single.
Mm-hmm.
Or even the single women that like are friends with women in relationships help them get out of that because
Yeah.
misery loves company.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times women are fake with each other, and when they see that you're doing better than them and have better than them, specifically a man, they're gonna deem that as evil and toxic. So you could just follow what they're saying and think like them, so you could be like them. And
Mm-hmm.
and the fucked up part about it is that could be a best friend, and meanwhile she in the DM of the dude that she was telling you to
Mm-hmm.
stay away from.
That's so fucked up.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm telling you, like, shit like this happens in real life. It's happened in movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We've seen it. You know, but the thing is, like, I think a lot of it is coming from both males and females of feminists, the operative word, but more so females.
Mm.
And a lot of times the males will get brainwashed with what the females are telling them and then make that their reality. Damn, that is toxic. I gotta stop acting like this. Cause
Mm.
she's right. I'm not gonna ever get married.
Mm.
She's right. I'm not gonna ever get a woman that's gonna stick around. So words are powerful, right? Like you speak to your soul, you
Yeah.
speak to the cells in your body. I wrote this in my second book, like the power of I am.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you start saying those things, you start living like this, and every cell in your body, molecules, chromosomes start adjusting to that.
Mm.
Versus you doing the opposite and speaking power to yourself. Fuck what they're saying. Like she crazy.
Exactly.
She don't know I got 2, 3 girls. I just don't show them. I just don't show them. But she don't know. But she's saying if you act like this, and they pretty too. They pretty and they bad bodies and everything. But they wouldn't never know. But they thinking, damn, if you acting like this, you never gonna keep them around. And they don't know shit. They're
Mm.
presumptuous. You know what I'm saying? It's the reverse psychology. And you know, it goes down to like I always teach men like in regards to like relationship, don't listen to women because a lot of times they don't even know what they want. They know what they like, but they don't know what they want. So if they don't know what they want, and they telling you that's like your car needs maintenance, and you need a real specialist. But you know this one guy is advertising that he's good at cars, but meanwhile his guide is YouTube.
Oh
So
Lord.
wait, so when you find out, wait a minute, so you actually never worked on a car before? Nah, I just watch these videos and then I
That's
oh,
hysterical.
okay. Yeah, it's like that. So why am I gonna take advice from you? Like it's, you know what I'm saying? You never had any type of success in
Mm.
that thing that you telling me.
I also think that with boundaries, anybody who doesn't understand boundaries or how to put them, they see that as just like a no, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like they're getting reprimanded because a person is putting up their boundaries. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So if because I have a girlfriend like that, she doesn't know how to put boundaries. She doesn't understand them, and when her man has his boundaries, she takes it personal because she doesn't understand it. So I think that's why they also say, they say a man with boundaries is controlling and toxic as
You know
well.
why she don't understand it? Because she doesn't care to understand him.
100%.
Like she don't even need to know like what boundaries are. Like you were saying, right? Like she don't know boundaries. So in her mind, she's just thinking like, oh, maybe you should include me in everything, da 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 da. But if he's saying stuff like I don't know the situation, I'm just gonna like hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I come home and I had a stressful day at work, like don't bum rush me.
Like,
You know
don't
what I'm
stress
saying?
me
Like
out
I
now.
need I need to maybe go into my man cave. Some dudes do like the video games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some dudes do other stuff, sports, watch sports, read, whatever they do, work on the car or whatever it is. I need like some time, right? So if the woman is knows that man and respects those boundaries and knows those boundaries, right? She sees, oh, how was your day at work? Oh, it was really stressful, it was really bad. She knows what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But the woman that doesn't is gonna be like, damn, like you were the girl making it about her. She's taking it personal. Oh, like now it
If he
becomes a
doesn't want to
fight.
talk, yeah.
Doesn't love me. This and that. Why won't he be vulnerable?
Mm.
Right? So she don't understand boundaries because she don't understand him.
But
So if
she
she
also
understands him. and you know what I'm saying, will vibe by that, then she'll respect that, because that's what it comes down to, like respect.
Yes. But the thing with boundaries is not, you don't just put boundaries with other people. This is what I told her too. You put boundaries with yourself. You know what I mean? To keep yourself in order, in check. Almost like having discipline. You know what I mean? You have to have discipline to have your boundaries with others and with yourself.
Hmm.
So when I say she doesn't understand boundaries, it's she doesn't understand his boundaries. She doesn't understand how to put boundaries. She doesn't understand anything about boundaries.
We got bullets, so I'm gonna say one more thing, and then we could get into
Okay.
one of the reasons why this topic exists is because I've heard this before from like coaching women and talking to them, like even having them on the podcast. Oftentimes, women want to be understood by the opposite sex. You never hear women saying, "I want to understand men." Bars, bars. It's a fact.
Mm.
You never hear, because even as little kids, boys, girls, we're taught there's education on how to treat women.
Mm-hmm.
There's not education on how to treat men, right? So oftentimes women want to be understood. They don't want to understand men. That's why this concept is true.
Mm.
So because they don't understand what they're doing, they're deeming it as controlling and toxic, which can be in direct correlation. And then there's more women in this world than men, so they're following the trend. No, girl, that's empowerment. That's you loving yourself. Meanwhile, they're doing the same thing.
Mm.
They're implementing boundaries and standards, so they're doing the same thing. If the woman says that I don't have sex on the first date, if a woman says that, I date for the purpose of marriage, I don't do casual, um, I don't date hoodlums, like bandoleros,
Mm-hmm.
vagabond in Creole too, in Spanish. Um, if I don't got date guys that aren't going to provide safety or
Mm.
security in the dynamic, aren't gonna show me that they're gonna protect here. That's a standard, right? She's showing that she loves herself. Flip it. If the guy says, I don't date women really that post their body online. We're
Mm-hmm.
connecting, but we can't go further because I don't date women that do that. I don't date women that's offering to for me to take them, dominate them on the first night. I don't date women that's not feminine.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't nurture.
Masculine is not my thing. I think that's disgusting. She could be the prettiest woman in the world. I don't date women who are not submissive. Two different things. You know, I don't date women who don't have standards for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Who are not secure in the dynamic, in their position, who are jealous. I don't date those
Mm.
type of women, right? Now, that seems aggressive.
Yeah.
For the person that's not healed, for the person that has an ill mindset, that seems aggressive. That seems controlling. That seems way too much.
Isn't
Because
that
it's it's
crazy?
it's crazy because males have fucked this game up. Males, simps, they
Mm.
just surrender to anything. That's why. So females are used to males. They don't meet men. They
Mm.
don't meet a lot of men. They don't need to meet a lot of dominants in the
That's true.
BDSM lifestyle 24/7.
Yeah,
They,
that's
they
true.
don't meet a lot of gods and kings. So that's like it's irregular.
Mm.
It's not coinciding well with their brain because they want to figure shit out. Men have bigger brains, but women use theirs more efficiently. So they're always dissecting things, even if they don't vocalize. They be in their head all the time. So they will always start to generalize men because they start building a type of guy. The
Mm.
last were all the same. She had a specific type. So now she generalizes dudes in regards to building the ideology of how men move, but it's really how males move.
Mm-hmm. or the males that she attracts. No. What type of men come with standards and boundaries? And I think that you kind of said it in your answer right now. Um, Men who are confident within themselves, um, men who like they stand on business. They don't, they what they say is their, what they say, what they mean, what they say, and they say what they mean. Um, uh, that's what I think. And
So we had a traditional versus modern episode, and I think we kind of had something like this.
mm-hmm,
So I believe traditional men,
yeah,
they come with standards and boundaries. Modern guys, they're like males to me. They're not masculine. They're not dominant. Those are two different things. Um, they fall
yes,
for anything. Um, they're just happy that chicks are talking to them, or they shot their shot and she's accepting. So a lot of times they don't know what they want to,
mm-hmm,
and these men that come with standards and boundaries are gods and kings.
yeah,
Because if they come with standards and boundaries, that means they're accountable.
mm-hmm,
And any person that's accountable holds people around them that they love accountable too. So they hold themselves to the same degree or higher. So if they have standards and boundaries, when they meet a woman that they want to fall in love with and they're pursuing and they want to date, they might not say this verbatim, right? This is what's gonna make me present in this dynamic, girl. They probably
mm,
don't say that verbatim, but they'll mention their boundaries and their standards, right? Because they're already holding themselves to similar.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense for them to hold themselves to a standard and then just let the people around them, especially a woman, teammates or whatever, just do whatever.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? And be whatever. So I think these are gods, kings, traditional men, dominance, real dominance, 24/7 in the BDSM lifestyle.
But not just in the BDM
Um,
lifestyle, right?
ma-
Like men
Not
can be
just, yeah, because
dominant.
I'm, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I just
getting,
wanted to say
yep,
that
yep.
because.
Now, yeah, because I'm getting into the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Masculine guys,
Mm-hmm.
have God in them. Doesn't mean they're religious men, but masculine guys who have God in them, divine masculine men.
Yes.
Those are the type of men. Just to
Mm-hmm.
summarize it, because all those things fall under the umbrella of divine masculine. Just to summarize, so I think
Definitely.
those are the type of guys that come with standards and boundaries,
I
and I
agree.
think that's why a lot of times it's feared because imagine imagine if you saw God.
Mm.
Like they say, walk through faith, not sight, right?
Mm.
But imagine I don't know, you had some mushrooms, you smoked some heavy kush or whatever, and you lifted, and you're like, damn, I saw God. I saw my ancestors. I saw it in my dreams or whatever. That would kind of scare you. So imagine that being in human
Yeah.
form.
Mm.
Imagine that being in human form.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like you meet them every day. Remember, this goes back to the prior
Yeah.
segment. Males, they're meeting males, or you meet a goddess. Let's
Mm.
flip it. The guy meets a goddess. Scare him too if he's not divine masculine,
Mm-hmm. If he's
because
not
he's
used to
meeting
that.
females.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
especially if that god or goddess that that type of a person knows what they want. They're giving you things that you've never felt before, or known before. They're
Mm-hmm.
teaching you things or
Mm-hmm.
or whatever.
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, and this topic, like the women that have standards and boundaries, right?
Yep.
Oftentimes, a lot of men don't um don't like look at that as self love and empowerment. It's a lot of the women that's what what I heard.
So what
It's
do the men
for
see it as?
for the toxic and controlling. That's coming from both males and females.
Wait, when a
Men,
woman.
another man, right? Divine, another man that looks at another man and sees that he has preferences, boundaries, and standards. He doesn't say he's toxic.
Mm.
Man to man, not man to male.
Mm,
Male to man is gonna say, the male's gonna say he's toxic, he's controlling because he's thinking like a female. Because a
mm,
female polluted his brain. Now he
mm-hmm.
has an ideology of men. A man to a man does not think like that. He's hyping him up. Probably
Mm-hmm.
looking at him, maybe a podcast, or something, hyping up, screaming at the screen. That's what I'm talking about. He's saying it. He's the voice of the voice. I can't say it. I
Mm-hmm.
can't say, but he's saying it. But I think like I'm trying to tell my girl what he's talking about. I gotta let my girl listen to him. You know what I'm saying? Man to man, they never shame that.
That's true.
We build a bond together, and maybe they become friends because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But males to men, males to males shame men.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So both get shamed. The men get flack from
From
both.
both sides.
But for the women, they get praise for one gender. And I'll say the male feminists.
Mm.
Men don't look at that and be horny. Men don't look at that and be, oh my god, excited. Wow, she's self. No, they don't look at it in that regard. And be like, oh, self-love empowerment.
Wait,
And
so then do men like women who have standards and boundaries?
yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
Just males don't like women who have standards and boundaries and all that. Just like a woman doesn't, kind of. I mean, a female.
Yeah, and then you have the male feminists
Mm-hmm.
who so there's two types of males now. So you have the male feminists who really don't like it, but they're being fake because they're
Mm-hmm.
trying to get pussy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're lying. They're boosting them up too. Yeah, girl, go girl. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You respect your empowerment. They don't. They're like the male, but in disguise.
I guess it's how they maybe not use their standards and boundaries. Like, you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense what I'm trying to say? Like, okay, so the second bullet, what type of woman comes with standards and boundaries? But if we're saying that all females are starting to say, well, I have standards and boundaries, but clearly there's a different type, there's a woman and then there's a female, right? Depending on how the female has, what she considers her boundaries or her standards, right? It's not always like the righteous, standard and boundaries that a woman has,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think the type of woman that comes with standards and boundaries is, like I said, with the man, somebody who is confident, who is, like how you said it with the men, traditional, um, who knows herself, maybe has been through, she learned about herself, she's on her healing journey, um, and doesn't use it as a weapon. That's what I wanted to say. A female will use her standards and boundaries as a weapon. You know what I mean? But a woman that has standards and boundaries, it's for, I guess, for her protection. You know what I mean? She doesn't want to just meet, like you said, she's not gonna date the thug, or she's not gonna date the player or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's what I think.
The women that weaponize it, um, they,
Females.
yeah, the females that weaponize it, never, never had it before.
Mm-hmm.
So, a man like me, right, who's going out there in the dating market, is gonna see, like, is gonna get to know the woman. So
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna get to know her character, and maybe about like her past, right? What was your longest relationship? Why did it end? What didn't you take accountability? And I don't want to hear about him because most women talk about him, or it cheated or whatever it is. Wait a minute. So cheating was the only thing? That's not somebody I trust. Because if you're telling me everything good was in that dynamic, but you couldn't let go of the cheating, which most women are probably in denial, you know what I'm saying? Both of y'all already fucking with the same man, but y'all in denial, then that means he wasn't really your type. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta look at it equivalent to a man's side, right? If I get with a brat and she give me one attitude one time, but I correct her, I stick around. Yo, let's go get something to eat. She said it's
Mm.
not gonna happen again. Okay, cool. We forget about it. We don't talk about it again. You see? So, but wait a minute. She gave me one attitude, and that was it. I dumped her. That's kind of equivalent to he cheated and then is it? But the relationship was good. I don't trust that. So now I'm like, wait, if she got cheated on multiple times, she likes cheaters. So I put that into a play in my head. So now I'm getting to know her past, what type of guys she dated. Now I'm knowing like what did she do? Because that's gonna let me know if she had standards or not. So wait a minute. Now you got standards? There's holes in your story. Now you got standards. How can I trust you? See, somebody that has standards always had them. They always had them. I'm talking about this is you question, but you forgot what I said earlier. The women who are weaponizing this.
Mm.
The women who are weaponizing this, it's a manipulation, psychological manipulation, because they're like, yo, I did all my whole shit back then, just to for layman's terms, because maybe I'm losing them. I did all my whole shit back then. I had my whole phase. Now I got standards. Nobody believes that. Nobody's gonna believe that. A man who's using his brain efficiently, a man who's using his
Mm.
brain adequately, he's using it. He doesn't just have it, he's using it. He's gonna see that, you know, that like that's fictitious. People could say, well, people change or whatever.
I was
People
gonna
people
ask you
don't
that.
change. Their energy does. People don't change.
Do you think that somebody who's never had it, after working on themselves or whatever, do you think that they can now incorporate standards and boundaries into their life?
They can, but very few people that have that because it comes down to this, right? It's not just about having them, it's about the consistency.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
if
true.
you're not consistent, are you that?
That's true.
If it's not consistent in your life, is it that?
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
No, you're right.
So so then it's like you got to look at it like because when I always ask guys about like, oh, would you rather have I've asked most of the guys that came here the 50 bodies over the
Mm-hmm.
one child, and she had like one or two bodies. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of guys pick the 50 bodies because the kid is the X factor for them. They're
Yeah.
just like, I can't raise another man's kid. I don't know if I'll love him. It's the problem, especially if the guy's active in life. And these are guys that
Yeah,
don't
that's
live
true.
lifestyles like me,
Mm-hmm.
that
No, that's
that
true.
think like this, right? But it's like, but I'm like, well, wait a minute though. It's not that easy. You ain't off the hook. Let me ask you another question. The fact that she been doing that for so long, you think that that's gonna be successful? You think you're gonna be able to turn that into a housewife? You think that she gonna be present? What happens when the first time you don't give her what she want?
Yeah.
Because if she had that money, acquired that money, she probably dominant there. She probably used to like dangling the banana in the monkey cage and then pulling it up once the monkey's trying to climb and get it.
Mm.
She used to playing games probably. She used probably using her beauty, her body to
Like
weaponize that as an
manipulation.
advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So are you looking really in depth of that regard? You putting the kid as the X factor of something like you can't do because of that, and but you're thinking that you could do it, and you ain't even a dominant. So how
Mm.
can you ain't you gonna fail because you're not gonna be able to go in there and change shit and lead. So you know what I'm saying? It's a lose-lose situation.
That's true.
So now when I make them think, they're like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're looking
Didn't
at
think of
you
that.
you're looking at the female emotion of even like pair bonding.
Mm.
It's gonna be hard for her to do that. So now like you're taking a big loss only because of the kid X factor. What if the other side is more loving, more submissive, more feminine? It's a double edged
Yeah, it
sword.
is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With each side you go, it's lose. But there's one that's a lesser evil.
Yeah.
When you make them think like that, then the guys start reevaluating,
Yeah.
right? So it's kind of like that. You look at what they didn't have. You know what I'm saying? And if they didn't have standards before, that's a red flag. But if they worked on themselves and they're doing this, me, let's say I'm dating a woman and she was like, you know what I mean? Like, I had a whole phase, like I had a one night stand, years ago, and then I had another one. But now I'm more educated because back then I thought I could fuck whoever, do this, do that, da 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 da. Right? So she's not doing that now, right? It's been years since she's done that. I'm not saying I'm not gonna date her. All I'm gonna do is vet.
Mm.
Because the thing is,
Or
like,
just
if
watch.
because if if the intimacy levels are hitting, right? Why not give it a chance? All I'm doing is see a woman in the past that may have been a virgin or whatever it is, I might quickly marry her within the first month.
Wow.
But a woman like this is like, I'm into her, but let's see. You see, because of those things she told me, I don't do it quick.
Mm,
See, men back in the days value purity, so they would do that quick.
that's true.
Go on 8 dates, we good. Could be a month and a half, we ready to get married. Back in the day,
Yeah,
didn't
that's
take
true.
that long. Nowadays, it's like, I'm feeling her. She told me these things. Let me vet and watch. Because me, I'm thinking
I
that
mean, it
was
should
whole
be that
shit.
way. Yeah.
I'm thinking that was whole shit she did. In my mind, I'm thinking, does she have whole shit currently? Let me watch. So now it's a test of a situation of dates because she's gonna be testing me, right? As I'm testing her. We're both granting each other something. I'm granting you the gift of dominance, you granting me the gift of submission.
Mm,
So as I'm engaging with you, I'm giving you part of my divine masculine powers. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. So if I'm gonna do that, you know what I'm saying, I gotta be strategic with it. I gotta be smart. So
mm.
I gotta see if, like the last show, her actions match her words. So she say she done with that. All right, I'll give her a chance. I'm gonna watch though. I'm gonna
That's
watch.
what you got to do.
You know what I'm saying? And then now, if like when it fails, it's like, all right, bye. Like you know what I'm saying? You couldn't. You just revert back to the past. But that's what I'm talking about, the consistency. So do
Mm-hmm.
they really have boundaries? You see it. Some people, it's a rare situation. They're consistent with it because they were like, damn, I wasn't knowledgeable. Now that I
Mm-hmm.
have the knowledge, I do better because I know
Exactly.
better.
That's how it should be
But
also.
some people just revert back to things due to substances, drugs. They meet certain type of dudes. They want to do something. They're desperate for love. They want to be accepted.
Or
All this
things
shit
aren't going their
validated.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
triggers. Things
Mm-hmm.
aren't going their way, so then they revert. So now
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, you gotta watch. But I think that's the biggest thing.
I
What I mean,
agree.
the consistency. I think the consistency is what you are. To have that consistency in your life is what it is. But if it's not that, and you're not that.
Mm.
So I think it depends. But a lot of dudes don't know this.
I don't. I think a lot of people don't. Women and men. I mean, females and males, or women and men. Do they
Well,
attract?
because we're talking about women here. Like what type of woman?
Gotcha.
So that means the man would have to like vet her.
Mm. Do they attract each other? Men with standards and women with standards and boundaries? I think so. I think they do because they know what they're looking for.
Men, do they attract each other? Men with standards, women with standards. Yes, men and women, not men and females,
Mm.
not females and not women
Women
and
and men.
males. Because if we're talking about divine and like kind of like unhealed, it doesn't.
Mm.
Because the male is gonna think it is too much. Like that's another thing I gotta do to step up. It's too much
Mm.
work. You know
Just
what I'm
meet
saying?
her standards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like if she was always, because if she's a woman, right? She was always like that. She shows through her chronicles, through her history that she was always like that. That's respect. Eventually gonna grow in trust. But it's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You got 4 kids with 3 different baby daddies. You telling me you got standards and boundaries. And wait, you're not gonna give up on the first night. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna ride. You're not gonna be submissive. Wait a minute. She did all that stuff easy, and I'm looking at all her baby daddies. They all doofuses. They all bozos. Wait a minute. They're not gods. They're not kings. They're not dominant. They're not masculine. They're not godly. Wait a minute. So like this is a game. So no. I'm not tolerating that. I'm not a simp. I'm not gonna take her out and do all this and wait and you see? You see,
Mm.
this is how dudes are thinking today. Because they're looking at your chronicles. And this is what women don't understand. Because a lot of women don't care to understand men and how they think. And they should, because men are controlling relationships. So if the woman is single, it ain't by choice. It's
Mm.
because the
They'll say
men
it's
you
by
want,
choice.
the men you know, it isn't by
No,
choice.
no, no. I know. I said, but they will say that it's by
They will
choice.
say by
Yeah.
choice, yeah. But it isn't because the reality is the dudes that's approaching you is not your types. So it don't count. The dudes that you really, really want that are your type don't want you because of the shit you've done, your behavior, how you act currently, and all that. So it's not their choice because the reality is men are hunting. Men
Mm.
are saying, you're gonna be my girl, right? They're not asking you. They're not saying, well, what do you want to do today? They're saying, yo, you my girl, you belong to me. They're saying, oh, you're gonna be my wife. They're getting the ring. Men are doing that. Women are not. So they're not single by choice. So they should care what men think when it pertains to the dating market. They should care how men view women. Men,
Mm.
men, not males.
I think that females that do that are just and this is just my opinion. They're like full of themselves. They're conceited. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, either they think I don't need to know what he thinks, as I know I can control this
Scenario,
relationship, right? Um,
situation.
exactly. Or they're just like conceited because I feel like a woman that wants to know, maybe not all male nature, but her man's nature. That's like I think that type of a woman definitely has to have some sort of like nosiness to her because she wants to know, like, how does his mind work, what does he like to do, you know what I mean, like what does
Nosiness? No, yeah, no, that's wrong. That's
not
wrong.
nosiness, but
That's
it's
wrong.
something along
So
those standards,
so the
those
woman.
lines.
Let me tell you what it is. A woman that's doing that wants to be emotionally present.
Okay, there.
She wants to be emotionally available.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's not nosy. It's not, oh, I'm inquisitive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got women that I never touched and whatever are inquisitive, and I shut them
Mm.
down. Wait a minute. If you say that this lifestyle is not something you think and you're demonizing it, why you want to know so much? Why you want to know if I got a sub, if I have multiple? Why you want to know what we do? Why
Right.
you want to know how I treat them? So some people are inquisitive and nosy,
Right.
but a woman that's actually that's dating you, that wants to know about you and your
Yeah,
nature,
that's what I meant.
is not a woman that's like that. She's a woman that wants to be emotionally present. She wants to be emotionally available.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Why do you think the women who shame men for having standards aren't those men's type? um I read this question a couple of times. I think it's because those women are challenging that man's, what his thoughts, like his ideologies. You know what I mean? And I don't think, especially those type of men like that. I don't think that, I don't think anybody likes to have, their ideologies or their thoughts challenged when there's nothing to challenge. Those are the man's standards. You can't just go and tell them your standards are wrong. Who are you to tell me, my standards are wrong, or my boundaries are wrong, or whatever it is that I'm thinking for myself, to protect myself is wrong. That's crazy to me.
What's the question again?
Would you think the women who shame men for having standards aren't those? Oh, I read it all wrong.
What
Would you think the women who shame men for having standards aren't those men's type? I don't think that they are that man's type.
would you think
I read it
the
as
woman?
why do you think
Oh, okay. Would you think women who shame men who have standards aren't men's type?
aren't those men's type?
Yeah,
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 definitely not those men's
yeah.
type for the exact same reason.
Parts of the why you said I agree with. Um, w- would you think women who shame men having standards aren't men's type? Yeah, because if you think about it, right? Like I spoke to a woman the other day. I was coaching her, and she said, if a man doesn't understand my standards, she only mentioned she wants a few things. She didn't mention anything about money, height, looks, all that. She said that black would be her preference, but she's open. She doesn't discriminate. She's open, but because she's a black woman, she wouldn't date outside her race. No, no. She said she would, but she would prefer black men. So she said, um, three things she wanted, like protection, um, like you gotta know when like I'm not feeling away, or if we going out, like you just gotta know how to lead so I could feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
So like protection, you know what I'm saying? Like what like let me you know how I talk about the curb, the side of
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like
And the man
the
walks on the
walks
outside.
on the
Mm-hmm.
outside. I've talked about that since season one. So maybe it's a situation like that, but she didn't give me in like depth or examples. So she mentioned that, right? And she mentioned respect, and she broke down like respect, like she gave me examples for that. So she told me if a man can't like respect these boundaries or understand them, he's not for me. And that hit a light bulb in my head. So I'm flipping it for the guy, right? Imagine a feminist shaming me for my preference in women, on my standards, on my boundaries for myself,
Mm-hmm.
or like even that doesn't even have to do with that feminist. Like if I tell her I'm talking to her over the phone, I'm like, yeah, I can't engage with an OnlyFans chick. Oh, but why not? You know what I'm saying? Like she's debating it.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to change my ideology about it. She's shaming and oh, you're controlling. You're one of those jealous types.
You're insecure.
Insecure, right? I know she's not for me, just like what that girl said.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, right? Think about it. A lot of the times what's going to help the relationship stay sustainable is the mindset. Not just the energy, lifestyles and stuff. Is the mindset. A dominant works well with a submissive and vice versa is because they have similar mindset pertaining to the common denominator of that lifestyle.
Mm.
Masculine, feminine, roles, duties, this, that, follow, lead, this, that, rules, discipline, there'll be accountability, punishment if you violate. They agree with that. And the submissive will take accountability. They're not gonna play games, try to manipulate, but give me one more chance. But I did this. Don't punish me now. She's gonna okay. I violated. I'm gonna take whatever you're gonna give me. Whatever how you ever gonna hold me accountable. You know what I'm saying? Growth,
Mm-hmm.
divine. So
Growth.
it's the mindset. So I'm already knowing that if I'm dating her and I'm having the conversation, and she's talking like that, there's no reason to even go on a first date. Remember in the past in the podcast, I talked about how I don't take them out right away.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get their phone number and talk to them for a day or two
Yeah.
before. That's the test, the conversation. You have a conversation with somebody, you let them talk for a while, and you just listen. You'll find out their true
Yeah, you
character.
do. Yep.
You'll
So
find out their
true.
true character. So if if a woman that's doing that, she's not his type. Because if she's already deeming that, you know what I'm saying, clearly the man is strict on his standards, not just for the woman, but for himself. She's trying to manipulate and stuff of that nature. Here, that's an indication of already knowing, this is the tip of the iceberg of what's gonna happen down the line. If
Mm-hmm.
she's manipulating in this aspect, imagine how she's gonna manipulate coming down the line. She
Yep.
gonna manipulate bigger things.
Not only that, but it goes back to she knows that she won't reach that standard. So she's trying to get him to go down.
Mm-hmm.
So she could actually reach it now.
Equality. That's
Mm.
good. That's good. Equality. She's not looking at, I want superiority and for
Mm-hmm.
me to stay in my place. She's looking at equality. Yes, she's trying to bring him down to her level.
All right. Do you believe we have gotten here due to so many women being violated by men in the past, being hurt by men when they were the most vulnerable and submissive, which now other women encourage those women to put themselves first and no longer putting the man first? Um, yes, but I also think it doesn't necessarily mean they were violated by men. I think it's just the trauma that they have, gathered throughout their life. It could be they saw their mother or whatever trauma that has to do with a man doesn't necessarily mean that they were the ones, but I definitely think that has a lot to do with it. Um, I also think that once they get hurt so many times, they don't want to learn anymore. They don't want to get to know the new man. They already built that mindset of, well, all men are the same because the last five did the exact same thing, or my mother, my aunt, and my cousin, they all have had the same
Experience.
experience. Exactly. Um, and it's funny. I'm watching the reruns of A Different World,
Mm.
which is a spinoff to the Cosby Show, and it's a very mixed show. Like you have a lot of foreign women, but you also have the women in there holding each other accountable, where they say, "Well, listen, you don't have a man, but I'm gonna take care of my man." You know what I mean? They have those old values in that show, which is sad now that so many women encourage the other women. Listen, put yourself first, and don't worry about that because you're bringing them down the wrong path. You know what I mean? Like you can do that if you want to be by yourself, because who's going to want to be with somebody that doesn't put their needs also first?
There'll always be somebody for everybody. I
Mm.
realize that, but
When did you realize that?
like years ago, right? But it doesn't mean they'll be happy. They'll
Hmm.
have somebody just like a body. Like
Yeah,
sometimes, like nowadays, like the
it's true.
kids, the kids today don't know the value of hard work, right? So a lot of times in these workplaces, corporations, they just hire bodies because they
Hmm.
just need people to run the facility. They're not good, but they show up.
It's like a rotating
As
door.
long as they're there, it's
Hmm.
okay. Good help is hard to find.
Yeah.
I've talked to bosses and they've said this. Um, so sometimes it's like that. Like a woman kind of gets to a point where it's like she thinking of companionship,
Exactly. Yup.
partner.
I
She
don't
not
want to be
thinking
by
of
myself.
she not
Hmm.
thinking of hubby. She
Hmm.
not thinking of my man. She not thinking of king. She not thinking of daddy, poppy, emperor. She's thinking of partner.
Hmm.
Weekly dick, pause. Um, just be there, whatever.
Hmm.
Maybe we do trips or shit like that, but I got just somebody
Yeah.
around. Like one of the callers for one of the shows, he said, everybody doesn't want to be alone when it's to that point where they're gonna die.
Right. Exactly.
So it comes to that point, which is like sad, but I think that most people won't get their type because of this. They won't step up. But you
They
pretty
won't step
much
up.
you
Yep.
pretty much summed it up. Like I'm not gonna say anything about it. You know what I'm saying? For the first time, you summed everything up that I probably would have said. It's not just the women that's experiencing it themselves. It's what they've saw.
Hmm.
Friends, family, co-workers, because
Yep.
girls, even co-workers talk to each
Oh
other.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the break room or whatever, when it's slow at work, nobody
Hmm.
downtime, they talk to each other in that regard and they just connect. Oh, I've done the same thing, so they could sympathize with it.
Yeah.
So
And I think
you
they
said it
think,
all.
oh shit, that happened to her too. Then there's no good man out there. It happened to her, my cousin, my mother, my aunt, me. Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. Is this progression or regression? Will this truly make women happy and get them relationships they want and can be present in? I think it's not progression, regression. Um, I don't think that every female that does that, that encourages women to put themselves first now and not the man, um, I think that they can be. I don't think it's always in a hurtful way. I think they just don't realize that they're giving really bad advice. You know what I mean? Although some women, like you stated before, misery loves company. Hey, if I'm gonna be by myself, girl, we can be roommates when we're older. 100%. Do you have those females that do it? But I think a lot of times, like you said, they just parrot what they think sounds right, what they think sounds empowering. Because a lot of them are, younger females that are doing it, and older ones that are hurt and have never grown and elevated and worked on themselves. But it's definitely regression, and I don't think that it will make them happy, because I don't think that they'll ever find the relationships that they truly want. Because if you're not going to work on yourself and see things in a different light, or try to at least see things differently, and not just go with the flow of what all the females around you are telling you, you're not going to meet that person that you want to meet. And if that's the case, then you won't be present in whatever relationship you do wind up in. You know what I mean?
You know what women need to do if they want to um like be happy and really go back to this? They got to do a couple of things. So part of healing for the woman would be to, like, she got to put her ego away. Because whenever you hear the man gotta be first, you know that triggers so many fucking women, and
Oh,
that's like an ego thing.
yeah.
But what about
But that's
me?
learned.
But what about me? Equality. Then the pride, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the pride. So that's part of being submissive. That's part of being feminine. If they want the relationships that they desire, right? That's one thing they need to do. The second thing they need to do is they need to stay off social media as much as possible. Now, I'm not saying to like not have it, not be on there. But if you're on there, do something productive and that's conducive to your health, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I would say stay off it, because the more the woman heals, the more she's going to get into her spirituality. The more she gets into her spirituality, the more sensitive her energy is going to be. So she's absorbing all the fucked up shit she sees on social media.
Yep.
All of it. She's absorbing it. Even if she disagrees with it, oh, I would never do that. She's
Mm-hmm.
absorbing it still
Yep.
because she's putting herself at risk to be there. To be there.
It's true.
So if she's going to be on social media, she should do something conducive to her health.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Follow certain pages.
I was gonna say
Detox
that.
the social media too. The
Mm-hmm.
certain people you're following, certain pages you're following that are toxic, unfollow them.
Yeah. It's true.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the two things they need to do if they're gonna, I believe, be successful in this dynamic. So, the men too, the males too,
Yeah.
because I think we need more. And the caller talked about this. Oh, well, what about the women in the DMs? I was like, oh shit. I didn't even think about that. And you were saying the same thing. I'm like, I'm so old school. I'm thinking in person. I'm thinking in person, like we need more physical interaction.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much virtual. It's just people catfishing. They filters all that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like we need more physical interaction. We have more physical interaction. We have more conversationalists.
Yep.
That's why people can't talk to each
Yeah.
other nowadays. That's why they don't know what to say. That's why it's awkward silence when the
Mm-hmm.
girl talking to the guy. She waiting for him to take the lead, but he just all of a sudden, what are you doing? The beta male shit. What is it? WYD?
I don't even know. I think so.
I'm so
What
old
are you
school. I
doing?
write the
Yeah.
whole shit out.
Me too.
I write the whole shit. I'm still manually doing this. People are using Chat GPT. I'm still manually writing.
Don't use ChatGPT. It's bad for you.
You know what I'm saying? This whole AI stuff, the
Mm-hmm.
technology is messing
Insane.
up
Yeah.
the new generation, and it's also a X factor in destroying potential relationships.
Yeah. That's true. I also want to say because like when you said about when people well you first started with saying women need to check their ego, and I think that also is a trigger for them hearing that statement.
A man, say
Yeah.
that.
Or probably more a man than a woman, like if they heard a woman, but that doesn't mean I feel like when it triggers a female to like get very aggressive about it, is because they're only seeing it in one way. That just means give somebody else's opinion an opportunity to reach your mind. Don't just shut them down. That's what that means. It doesn't
Oh,
mean, you know what I,
yeah. You don't have to defend me.
no, I'm not
Let
defending. I'm
let
just
them.
I just want them to,
Oh,
you know what I'm
okay,
saying, to understand that
okay.
it doesn't mean, you know, whatever it is that they think they mean.
Yeah,
It's
I
it
don't care.
no,
Yeah. The thing is,
I know you don't care, but this is about
a lot
teaching.
of times, like, see, females, right? They get talked to delicately. When a woman is in her masculine, she needs this hard work. She needs that so she could get back into her feminine,
Mm.
and then the man can be soft with her.
Mm-hmm.
Cause that's naturally how the man is. The man is a dominant beast. He has that danger in him that he has to protect the loved ones.
It's
But
true.
he's soft with his woman. The woman never sees that. Why? How does she get that? By being in her feminine. But when you see a man getting aggressive with you, what does that tell you? It's easy because you in your masculine. So the masculine chicks, like, they need this work. They need that tough love so they can change into the feminine and then get talked nice too. Talk to me nice. Nah, you get talked to aggressively because only a beast can tame a beast. And you get that beast out of you and you get talked to nice. That's why you can't talk to these chicks nice. They'll eat you alive. That's how they are. They're very, very masculine. And it's crazy to me. They're pseudo fake gangsters. And the males are like purse wearing, nail painting, nose ring, earring type betas. You know what I mean? Manginas. Like it's role reverse. You know what I'm
There's
saying?
a whole controversy about that with files found in the with Epstein files about that, but we're not gonna get into that. Okay, what's the difference? What's the difference between feminine and submissive?
I'm glad we have this. We said that we were gonna have this. I'm glad we have this.
What's the difference between feminine and submissive?
Now, there's no right or wrong answer,
I know,
but I'm
just
gonna
trying
give
to,
you the right answer.
I'm just trying to formulate my thoughts. Okay. A woman can be feminine. What's the difference between the two, right?
Let me give you an example first
Okay,
to
that's
trigger you.
perfect. Good.
Do you think a feminist can be submissive?
A feminist
Yes.
can
Like
be
a female
submissive?
feminist. Let's put more context because there's male feminists. Do you think a female feminist can be submissive?
Yes.
Do you think she can be feminine?
No.
Mm. Did that help you?
Yes. Okay.
So what's
So
the
a
difference?
feminine is a woman who is traditional.
Feminine?
Feminine.
Okay.
And a submissive is like a, I don't know, like a trait, like a character trait.
It's an adjective.
It's an adjective.
It's an
It's
adjective. Like,
something
yeah,
that
you're
women
right. It's a
can do
character.
that.
It's a character trait.
Okay. Whew. Man, that was hard.
So the difference between feminine and submissive is, right? So I'm gonna give you the answer. The energy,
Okay.
right? So when the woman is highly feminine, she's getting into her divine energy, which she was born in. Because men have feminine energy too. We're born with both. Men and women are born with both. When the man is highly in his masculine, he's diving into his DNA, how God created him to be. His feminine is low. He brings the feminine out in certain circumstances. I talked about like softness and stuff like that. It could be understanding, compassionate, willing to have a conversation, hear your point of view, cuddling. Could be physical too, holding hands, like affection, right? But if he's in his masculine, right? He's in his he's in his frame, right? So feminine is energy. Submissive is characteristic trait. It is an adjective.
Okay.
So it is something that you can be. Now it doesn't necessarily mean it's consistent, but it's something that you can be. I used the example to trigger you, so you could kind of dissect this and come up with an answer from your perspective with the feminist, because the feminist is not feminine. She's a female because she has the genitalia. When she goes to the bath, excuse me, when she goes to the bathroom, she sits down and stuff of that nature, right? The X chromosome, right? But she's not feminine. She suppressed that. She's highly masculine. But can she be submissive? Yeah. She can cook and clean. She can be on her knees. She can do this. She meets the right dude that's dominant and stubborn with that and not willing to give up the reins. She will submit in that regard. for sexual pleasure,
Mm-hmm.
for emotional pleasure, for psychological pleasure, right? It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be consistent.
It's true.
You know, so those are the two differences. I met a lot of hood chicks that could be submissive, but they're not feminine.
It's
You get what
true.
I'm saying? They don't even know the difference. So today, the education is paramount. They learn something new
Yeah,
today
me too.
because they think they coincide with each other. They
Mm-hmm.
think they're synonymous,
Yes.
but they're not. And I'm also helping men identify too.
Mm-hmm.
Submissive and feminine, both things. Because me personally, I could go out there and make the hardest chick soft, roll with killers type.
Make her
I
feminine?
can make her soft. I can't make her feminine. I can make her soft, like submissive.
Ah, okay.
But I can't make her feminine.
Mm.
Eventually, she get mad and stuff like that. She gonna bring that hood shit with me.
She's gonna pull
Nigga,
that
you
gun
know
out.
what I did? This and that. Get loud, probably try to put her hands on me.
Nope.
You see what I'm saying? So
Mm.
she's not feminine. She probably don't know how to be that. But when she see me, she just like every cell in her body, like, God damn, that he nigga fine. I like right for him. Temporary though.
Mm.
You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. And it's not something that I think. It is it's the truth.
Okay.
So when we look at divine, when we look at feminine, when the woman is getting in that, because that is her core energy, it's not the man's core energy. She's in her divine now.
Mm.
You know
That
what I'm
makes
saying?
sense.
So when she's already submissive, if she gets in her feminine and can keep that consistent, then she's powerful because it's like each piece to the puzzle. It
Mm-hmm.
finally connects. And it's like the last dragon. Like the
Oh,
dude
yeah.
was Bruce Leroy was looking for the master when he was the master the whole time.
Mm-hmm. That's
You know what I'm
true.
saying? And he didn't realize it till the last fight with Show Enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of like goes hand in hand with that. Like metaphorically, she has the glow.
Yeah.
Aura.
That's so true. Okay. What's the difference between masculine and dominant? So it's basically the same answer, right? A masculine man is a traditional man, and a dominant is something, it's a character trait. Like a
Yeah.
man can be dominant, but
Yeah.
doesn't mean that they're going to be dominant all the time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give more context to make
Mhm.
women and men understand.
Yeah.
Some women might be able to resonate with this. Let's say the woman was in an abusive relationship, verbally and physically. Boundaries were crossed, didn't respect, all these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the man was like he like led in some regard.
Mhm.
This is what we're doing. This is where we're going. I don't want you to dress like that. Boom, all these things, right? You know, maybe some guys like he'll check your phone and stuff. He could be dominant, but he's still beta to me. He's not masculine. You know what I'm saying? He's not divine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because he don't have those other components to be able to love her. First of all, if he was masculine, he wouldn't be abusing her.
That's
because
true.
because I call it abuse because it's not consensual.
Yeah.
Like BDSM, sex and stuff like that, activity. Some people live kinks and have certain fetishes. That's consensual, so it's not abuse.
Right. No, you're right.
It's mutual. Like you both vibing with it. Masochist, sadist dynamic. You're both vibing with it. But when there's a violation, it is abuse. So he's not masculine, but he's dominant. The adjective.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily mean he even could be consistent with that.
That's true.
Because he could be like this. He could be a dominant guy and be like, yo, it's cold outside and it's nighttime. Yo, bitch, go warm up the car. I'm
That's
staying in
crazy.
here, I'm watching the game or whatever. Like, it's like, that's not masculine.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
Being dominant,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? But he's not masculine. Masculine, he's going to think of all those certain scenarios. Oh, it's dark, it's cold. Nah, I should be doing that. I'm gonna warm up the car. Matter of fact, you don't even need to do that. Get the remote start or get it on your phone. Start
I'm
it from
still
your
trying to
phone
do
and
that.
shit like that. You know what I'm saying? The garbage is full. Heavy shit. Like he got her with the toolbox fixing the door.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like he got her mowing the lawn. You know, I talked to a woman years ago when she said like she did yard work, and her husband stayed in the house, and I was like, what? And she thought she was being submissive and shit.
Oh, because she was doing all the work.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I was like, wait a minute, but that's a male gender role.
Mm.
So you're not even being feminine. Like she being submissive. You know what I'm saying? So she was right in that regard, but she's not being feminine.
Unless she was struggling with that. Like if she was struggling like out there like, "Ugh, why do I have to keep doing this and sweating and pushing and like hating it? I think she would be in her feminine. It's just she thinks she has to because she's trying to be submissive for him.
Yeah, maybe, but reality is she not. She
Yeah.
wasn't. So yeah, that's the difference. It's like masculine is like divine. When the man is in his masculine, he's getting into the frame of his core energy God created him to be, the ancestors, following his ancestors, right?
Mm.
Dominant, anybody could be that. Any bum in the street could be like that. It's a trait. It doesn't mean you're a dominant, the noun. It just means you're dominant.
You
You know what I'm
can
saying?
be, yeah.
It can be like it could be part time. You
Mm-hmm.
are that. A certain circumstance, you are that. But like, oh, babe, you know you stronger than me. Like, open up the jar. You slapping it in the butt. You know what I mean? You try and make it loose. That's like a Spanish thing and a Asian, Caribbean thing too. And then I still can't get it. He's on the video game. All right, like, you know,
Yeah.
all right, go back to the video game and shit like that. And he's like, he don't really do much masculine or male gender roles in the house.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But in that scenario right there, he got dominant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But like masculine, it takes work. It's divine. You're displaying the compassion I was talking about, the understanding. You're able to articulate your boundaries. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you're honest with the woman. You're respectful. And you demand respect. It doesn't have to necessarily mean like I demand respect, but your energy does that. It commands it because
Mm-hmm.
the way you carry yourself, you hold yourself accountable. Like that's a masculine God. You know, when a man is both, that's like equivalent to the woman, the last dragon, with power.
Mm-hmm.
But most dudes are either masculine but they're not dominant. The other dudes are either
That's true.
dominant but they're not masculine.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Do you think men want to date themselves or want a woman similar to them? If the answer is no, why are so many females trying to be men to date when they know they want a man to build a relationship with? I don't think that men want to date themselves or women similar to them. I think a man wants his counterpart. You know what you know how they say opposites attract? So if he's masculine, he wants a feminine woman. He doesn't want a masculine woman. And why are so many females trying to be men today? I think they're confused and they definitely got the wrong advice. Um, and also, you have those males that say, um, like my girl is my like she's one of the guys. You know what I mean?
I was gonna get into that. You
Uh,
you took it. You took it right out of
and
my
so
brain.
females hear that that's the wrong advice that they're getting or what they're taking from that. They don't want you to sit there and play video games with them. They want you to leave them alone so they can play the video games and you go do something else.
Yeah.
But
Like I'm glad we have this because like back in the days, spending a lot of time in the street as a young, male, um, dudes used to say that. Yo,
yeah,
she like the homie. I
yeah.
needed to be the homie and the wifey or whatever. And I always thought that was weird. Cause even though we had those hood chicks around us, like me, I never wifed them.
Mm.
We just knew that like subconsciously they was masculine like us. But for me, right, how I look at it, right? I never I never brought or would bring like my girl or girls around like a guy's thing. So let's say for example, me and the guys we're getting to go out to a lounge or a club, right? It's five dudes and she's the only girl. I would never do that.
Mm. Yeah, that's
I would never
crazy.
do that because, like, for many reasons, right? So much guy energy there. You can't trust all of them are gonna have principles and not try to hit on your girl and all these things. Like you can't project and say that they're gonna be like me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just what it is. So me, I've always tried to make sure that the woman I'm with does not engage in masculine things like me and like things like me. So I'm gonna give you an example. If she's watching football or basketball with me, I know that she loves me. It's bonding time. But if she's trying to make that our thing, I think that that's weird. And I'm gonna like check her real quick. And no, no, no. Go to the other room. Go cook or something. Go paint your nails. Go watch a reality show. Like, why are you chilling here with me? Girls, and they were like into cars heavy. They were into sports heavy. Like, oh, Sundays is for my football. I feel like that's weird.
Mm.
Number one, maybe they think that that's gonna be like a cool thing. Like I'm gonna cause a lot of dudes are weird. Like this concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
They think that he'll think I'm down. He'll respect me. He'll vibe with me more. He'll like me because I like what he likes and I
Mm-hmm.
wanna like what he likes. Nah, like real men don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Real men don't want you to be like men. Them they don't want to date themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want you talking like them. They don't want you dressing like them. They don't want you acting like them. You know? So, I believe that, you know, these females have done that because they were with dudes that made them do that. That's why when those relationships are done, they still are stuck on those things because they're stuck on the last relationship. Like, wait a minute, you a
Mm.
feminine chick. How you know more about the game than me? I
Mm.
know the game. I played the game. How you know the game like that? You had a dad that told you? You had men that did? Most likely males.
They're like brothers and father. She's the only girl, maybe.
But she got into the next relationship with a guy, the same
Same
thing.
thing.
Because what if that guy's not watching that? She's still doing it. You
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it's a rare situation where it's like, yeah, I learned this with my friends. Like that's weird too. That's weird too. See, in my household, when we were young, the girls didn't do the shit the men did. Like my late grandmother would see a broom in my hand, I'm playing around, I didn't know what it was. She grabbed it and like slapped me on the butt or whatever and took the belt. Men don't do that. Men don't do that. If the women were carrying heavy grocery bags or in a toolbox, they would get hit. Women
Mm.
don't do that. Women do this. They're in the kitchen. Da da da. They dress like this. They wear skirts. Da 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 da. My parent, my aunts, my mother, my grandmother never saw them wearing jeans.
Mm.
Never saw them wearing this stuff. They wore long like sundresses and stuff, dresses to their knees and all that. Like I'm telling you, like that's what I saw growing up. So
Mm-hmm.
I carried that same thing. So when I dated women, I looked for those things. Mind you, yes, I did get with some masculine chicks, but before I knew it, but their characteristics was
Mm.
submissive. And I feel like probably they was like that. Now looking back, they were like that because they had doofuses before them, before me. I realize that now
Mm.
because naturally they wouldn't because I'm a pretty good judge of character. I think I prick right, So when I would see that, obviously they no longer here. You know what I'm saying? Because it was something that they couldn't hide too long. It was
Mm.
consistent. You know what I'm saying? It was like you got a chance to change this. If you can, it's not gonna work out. And I'm a man of my word.
Clearly,
I'm a
if they're
man of
not
my
here.
word. And I ain't chasing you
Mm.
because if I chase you, that's weird. That's weird. Like you gotta heal and come back to me. I did my job of pursuing. You gotta heal and come back to me. Why would I chase you? I released you for a violation. Why would I chase you? Cause I miss you? I can miss you every day, like a Scorpio that I am, and you never hear from me. Word is
Jeez.
bond. Because why? The principles and the standards keep me in check. The boundaries is what governs real men. The
Mm-hmm.
discipline is what governs real men when they want to act foolish.
Yeah.
That's what governs us. That's what governs us from chasing the OnlyFans because of our principles. It might be good to look at, but then what happens? That governs us. It keeps us in check.
Mm.
So it's the same thing with that. Why would I chase that? And on top of that, that's gonna give you power. Oh yeah, he came back to me. Look, and I was fucking up, so I could keep fucking up. And no, you gotta learn to have accountability. Sometimes you give people your absence, they learn to appreciate that, and then
That's
that
true.
sometimes makes them change.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? You don't got what it. You don't know what you got until it's gone. Think the grass is greener on the other side, but now what's taken for granted gets eventually gets taken away.
Yeah, that's true. I do want to say one thing though about the women, some women that like sports. Because I know a lot of young girls that are in college for a scholarship, soccer scholarship or something like that. So it's kind of like out of their hand, like they have to learn the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, masculine.
Yeah, but
Masculine. Like that's the father's fault too, if he got her into that. That's the mother's fault. The father did not instruct the mother to teach her how to be a lady. So sports was the first thing she went through to try to figure out that's her purpose in life as a
no,
woman.
not purpose, but to get like
Yeah,
for a
that's
scholarship.
the father's fault.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? And you see that oftentimes, like these guys who are like 100% alpha that don't got masculine in them. Those are two different things too. They train their daughters to be masculine
mm.
without even realizing it.
Yeah, that's true. Like Brock Lesnar
Mm-hmm.
and his daughter.
Yeah, like it's like it's one thing to teach them about a few things, like oh, I'll teach you how to defend yourself or whatever. But this is not something like you need to, get into. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Teach her about guys. Teach her about like how she should put herself in positions to protect herself. How she should be dressing. How she should behave. She should not be confrontational in a group full of men. Like if there's men there, why is she getting loud and whatever? She could get punched. Like you
That's
need to
true.
teach her about things like that.
Yep,
Like
definitely.
stay in your place. When men are getting rowdy and whatever, step away.
Yeah.
Step away, because
Yep.
God forbid an accident happen, you jump in the middle, boom, you get hurt. Step away. Don't get involved in men's shit.
It's true.
You know what I
Very
mean?
true.
Like, you don't. It's like throwing them in the lion's den. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? When they not part of the jungle. They're
it's
not
true.
part of the jungle. So I think that in regards to that, like I look at those things. Um, like I check those women and like I find out about them, but it's such a turn off for me. But some guys, they like it.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I have terms for them, but they could be what they want to be. But I'm telling you the truth, they're not masculine guys. Um, and it's making it worse for the women by them doing that. Yeah, like wow, she likes football. She knows the game. Yeah, we can connect. That real men do not want to date themselves. I think the term opposites attract is a true thing.
mm-hmm.
Polarity. They understand polarity. And they like the fact that their woman is opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm dating a woman. I'm proud for that. I'm proud for that. When I go in public with her, I'm proud for that. Like it's not like, yeah, you walk in front, I'm walking in the back. Act like you don't know me.
That's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
somebody that she's masculine. Like you're not proud of that. But men that date the opposite of them, like men, divine, that date divine feminine, like women, not females, they are proud of that. They respect them. I don't see they talk to them different. They talk to them different. They're not aggressive and loud and like all these things. They talk to them different. They give those women a different energy. That's the power
Mm-hmm.
that the woman got.
It's
That's the
true.
power that the woman got, that she get me to be soft.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But why I'm getting aggressive with the masculine one?
They bring that
Cause
energy
she
out.
masculine like me, and all masculine do is compete with one another. That's what masculine do. Masculine and masculine just bump heads.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? They don't get that. But they getting this work today.
They sure are.
They getting this work today for them to learn.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think like okay, like a married couple, right? And they have a son, and the dad has to work. He's working or whatever, and the kid wants to join football or soccer or sport. Now it's up to the mom to take him and all that stuff. Let's say the mom learns about the sport for the kid because the kid is talking to her. Did you see this? Whatever. She learns it now, and she's like, oh, I like it, but that's the only. My question is, do you think that a woman can be masculine in just that, like that one area, and then feminine and everything else?
Mm, no, I don't think that's
Oh,
genuine. I
interesting.
don't think that's genuine, like love for
Of
the
this,
for the game.
yeah,
Like she's excited that her son's excited.
yeah.
She's not like excited for the game. And if she's a feminine woman and the husband and her are together, she'll be like, yeah, yeah, tell your dad. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
Like,
want to hear it.
because
That's what I would say.
because that's a bond that, like, they're gonna have.
Mm.
The man and the boy and the
And the
man.
father, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The girl and the woman, daughter, mother, they're gonna have a bond. Doing each other's hair, painting each other's nails, learning how to cook, how to sew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All these things, cleaning the toilet. You know what
I
I'm
don't think
saying?
they're gonna bond over that.
Behavior. She's teaching her these things. He's teaching her the fundamentals of being a domestic wife. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Teaching her about men.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What to look for, how to be, how to dress,
Mm-hmm.
how to model, and then she's witnessing that how her mom is. So her mom's not just saying it, she's witnessing it from her mom's actions. So she's doing it.
Mm.
If the woman doesn't have a good relationship with her mom, she gets into her masculine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It depends because if the one mom is feminine and the girl does not have a relationship with her mom or some type of resentment there, the girl grows masculine. So she has to heal by rekindling that relationship with her mom and then start doing things and then learning how she is if she's traditional and learning from that because then
Well,
she'll get the man of tradition of how she wants.
what if what you said, like that scenario, she doesn't get along with her mom, but she gets along with her dad, and the dad sees that she's getting into her masculine, and he's like, don't be like that. Could she learn like that too?
Um, that's not a scenario that would happen. That's like a possibility, not a high probability, because a lot of men don't know how to identify, right? So the guy might just be thinking like, "Oh, daddy's girl, da da da. She wants to do what I do," but maybe we talking about a guy that's conscious, divine, spiritual, and understands. Then, then yes, he can be like that, but he can't teach her how to be a woman.
No,
He
that's
cannot
true.
teach her how to be a woman, but he
It's
can.
almost like he's just giving his opinion.
Yeah, he can be
Mm.
like, don't act like that or whatever it is, but he can't teach her how to be a woman. Like we need both.
Mm.
Like the men need women for that. Procreation, education, legacy and all that. The woman needs men for a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? But we need both.
Mm.
So if it's a single dad, he gonna need to bring a woman around so she could see that like
Mm.
how to be a woman. She's not gonna see that from him. Same thing with the mother. If it's a single mom, like how he's gonna learn how to be a man. She's gonna have to put him in sports forever, military, sports, all that, so she could have so he could have those male figures on how to
Mm.
be a man. He's not gonna be able to identify that with just the woman there. No matter if
It's
she's,
true.
he's not gonna respect her. Hey, what are you doing? We talked about this. I'm gonna discipline you. Yo, he's young right now, but he's gonna grow up to eventually rebel against you. But the power of the male voice, even a baby, hear the power of a male voice, he don't need to do much. Step into the room, What's going on here? The baby's just stop crying
Mm.
or whatever. The baby knows it's serious business now. And if he got a deep voice, you know what I'm saying? The baby knows that's authority there. So just the male presence, being the male voice, the woman voice. Oh, don't do this. I'm gonna hit you. No. What did I tell you? You're missing practice. Yo, he all right, he gonna do it. He's tired of hearing you talk. But the kid is growing resentment.
Mm.
He's growing resentment and eventually he's gonna disrespect the mom.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? There was power in my household when mommy said, wait till Poppy gets home. Shit. My brother, and my sister. Oh man. Yo, guys, I got an idea. Let's put on man pants. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to build up. Let's put on man pants. He's not gonna know.
He knew.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like that power. Wait till your dad gets home. You fucking
Mm.
around. Yeah, mom, he can't catch me. She throw the, trying, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can't catch me. Wait till your father gets home. I'm tired of chasing. Oh man, damn, we in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's power to that. So, you just gotta understand that there's importance to masculine and feminine, and I think a lot of people today are very prideful and egotistical, and they just think that they could do it on their own, and it's a failure. And
Yeah.
when you have children, that's like the worst thing to want to do. That shit on your own.
Yeah. That's true. All right. So, final thoughts on why is it that in today's era, standards and boundaries and preferences of men are deemed controlling and toxic, but for women is deemed self-love, empowering, and healthy. Um, I'm not gonna go back into that. What I am gonna say is everyone should, if you don't know what your boundaries are, you should learn them. Um, you should, you know, I think all that does stem from having trauma and some toxicity, and just to know yourself. Therapy is a beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with it. Doesn't make you, crazy or look bad or whatever. It's just, you know, you talking with people. And even if it's not like therapy can be in many, many forms. You can write in your journal. You can do audio journaling and listen back to it. You can find a lot of answers that way. So find what your boundaries are, learn what they are, and then implement them, not just for people around you, but for yourself as well. And if you have standards, stay true to that. Don't, just because you see, a fine guy, now you're going to drop your standards because you're lonely or you're horny or something like that. There's nothing wrong with having standards, boundaries, and preferences for men or women. I think it's very important for your self preservation, for your mental, and for your safety.
I think we both should have preferences. I mean, not preferences. I
Boundaries?
mean, those are fine too. Boundaries and standards. Both genders, and I think why it's like deemed you know like more toxic and controlling or whatever for the men. Like, men pretty much just get shitted on for that, and
Mm.
women get praised. Just to summarize, is there's a lot of people who are uneducated, unhealed. Um, they're unaware of self like awareness.
Mm-hmm.
They lack knowledge of self. They lack knowledge of the opposite gender's nature and
Mm-hmm.
their nature.
Yeah.
So oftentimes, like, a lot of times, people don't know what they're saying. They're parenting, and they're trying to like push it off as their own words, like saying stupid stuff like um oh, this is me. Take me as I am. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, like, I'm a technical beast, so I'm like, it's not you. Like,
Mm.
you are from something. You know what I'm saying? You didn't just get born from your parents, generation to generation to generation. So you don't care about your ancestors. You don't have a relationship with God. That's somebody that doesn't have a relationship with God. Is an indication for me of that
Mm.
when they say that. It's also a person that lacks accountability when they say that. It's an easy way out. They don't want to step up. Take me
Mm.
as I am. They don't want to step up.
Yeah.
So, um, it's like you gotta figure out that when you're dating people, there's certain adjustments that's gonna be made, and those are boundaries. Not adjusting yourself, boundaries. Like if I date a woman and who cares? Like she goofy, whatever it is, she ain't gonna be like that with me because she gonna want to match my energy. If she know I'm a serious guy, yeah, we have goofy moments or whatever, but I'm a serious dude, whatever. She's not gonna play with me. She'll play with a clown, but she
Mm.
won't play games here. She'll know, yeah, I'm a goofy person, but when I'm here with him, like he don't play that. So she gonna be that. She into me. She wants to build my boundaries. She will respect. That's what it comes down to. Same thing with me and her. Her boundaries and standards I will respect. It's not so much about like changing her. She always gonna have that goofy or whatever it is in her and be this way or whatever. So it's not that technically, oh, take me as I am or whatever.
Mm.
No, it's boundaries. That's what it comes down to. So I think that when we're coming in based off how we have certain boundaries. And I think that men are willing to adjust to women's boundaries more than women are willing to adjust to men's boundaries. And that comes down to the unhealed. That comes down to the unhealed because you got to understand that now more men are unhealed because I'm hearing more men are just kind of going on strike. They're not like approaching women. They're not talking to women. There's no flirting and stuff of that nature. With women, it's kind of like a hate thing going on. That's an unhealed thing. But you got to understand, like, men back in the day, no matter what, my last relationship was bad. This was fucked up. I don't, like, yo, I got short term memory loss.
Mm.
I'm moving to the next dynamic. I met a chick the next day. And I didn't hold that same standard because that one wasn't adjusting right and playing games and being disrespectful. I came in and I gave her the best love. But if I kept on that relationship still, if I was still stuck on that, I'd be like, yo, I'm not giving her no love. I'm not opening up because I think when I opened up that I was this a dom, she like fought that. She probably liked the sexual aspect of it, but she fought that. So I'm not gonna open up about that. I'm not gonna listen to her stuff and her boundaries and whatever she thinks of as respect. Nah, but he's still moving like shit ain't never happened. Most men do that than women.
Yeah.
They carry it and they hurt and they stop. Oh, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm gonna withhold. I'm not gonna be vulnerable. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like the healing is on both, yeah, but the women really, really gotta heal a lot. Certain men can do things where they heal from that. Gym, um, maybe some people do video games, reading, get a relationship with God. Some men go to church again. Whatever they do, they're healing quick. Healing quick because they got to be leaders. That's their job. They're healing quick. The women is taking a long time because they keep remembering. They keep this. They're stuck. They're stuck. It ain't their fault. They put a lot. They put more. They put their all more than men do in
Excuse me.
relationship. So they get stuck. They get stuck on the past and the past and the past. And those are three dudes. They get stuck on them. So now they can't be vulnerable. They're not quote unquote ready. They're not ready. Translation, I'm stuck on my ex. I'm stuck on what happened to me.
Mm.
I don't deserve love, probably. There's things you don't know. If you knew, maybe you wouldn't love these parts.
Mm.
I'm scared to
It's true.
mention that. So it comes down to them like going to all these things because some of them have selective memory. They want to block some of that stuff. No, you gotta face that. You gotta cry. You gotta go through it. You gotta do the shadow work. You gotta do that and then go out there in it. You're not gonna be 100% healed, but you gotta meet somebody to heal with.
No.
Because if you think, oh, I'm healed, I'm ready to go, somebody like me gonna trigger the fuck out of you. Then you're gonna be like, I'm not healed. So
What
you
happened?
now you gotta like heal there and then grow there. They
Mm-hmm.
don't get that. They gotta adjust. They think taking 2 years off, 3 years off, that's you're slowly dying. The dating market's getting worse as you're doing that. The 3 years you could have been building with somebody. So you're like, oh, I'm taking 3 years for now you're getting 3 years older. It's getting worse for you because the dating market's getting worse. So now you want to start to go out there and you're like, damn, they ain't shit out there. Yeah, you wasted 3 years, but 3 years ago, you could have probably been building with somebody. Then it could have been a 3 year relationship where y'all healed and whatever it is. They don't
Mm-hmm.
get that part. I gotta tell them. I gotta tell them. Time is not something you want to waste. And a lot of these chicks are gonna get to the point where they're 40. And they're gonna be like, because they were like 29 or 30, and they started saying, I'm now on my healing journey. They're gonna get 40 and be like, I'm ready. And by like 10 years down the line or 5 years down the line, it's gonna get worse. Like, they don't get it. They don't get it because that's the ego. That's the pride. They think they're gonna go out there and get what they want. They're
Like
not
this.
thinking. They're not thinking reality wise. They're thinking Cinderella. They're thinking fairy tale.
Yep, that's true.
That's the problem. So part of healing is thinking of reality, not play, not Goofy, not Cinderella, not Disney.
Not
Because all that
fantasy.
propaganda was a scam to fuck you up. Get out of the matrix. Be conscious. That's helping them heal too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Guys, the way they gotta stay healed, staying strict on their boundaries. Do not let people veer you from that. Because a lot of the weak guys will let the chicks tell them, yo, that's controlling, bro. What's wrong with you? Yo, don't call me bro. My name's Discipline. Don't call me bro. I ain't your bro. That's masculine. Speak like a feminine woman. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. You controlling, bro. You jealous, bro. Be strong. Don't listen to what they're saying. Because strong men build empires. They move mountains. Weak dudes didn't.
It's true.
So, like, don't apologize for being masculine or maybe even aggressive. People in this world need that because they soft. Especially the dudes. They soft. They don't come from that era. They didn't have those. They didn't have those G's, those OGs teaching them that. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, you were tuned into one of the most raw, uncut, unapologetic, real, no holds barred, the Discipline W podcast. Peace.